Hi, Derek, founder of Grimdark, Ohio here, and I'm going to be talking about the Deep Between Prologue. I'm going to talk about what this campaign is, what the campaign is not, and just kind of touch on a few things with the Deep Between and the other folks involved with this project besides myself. So, first off, Grimdark, Ohio was founded last year as a miniatures game company. So currently there are releases monthly for the Deep Between, which will be a model agnostic skirmish game. Wanted to have a completely original model line that fit the universe and the lore that I was creating. Didn't want to just staple on model agnostic, so the Deep Between, the titular name, plays into the actual setting and makes model agnostic work. So the Deep Between is kind of this hub universe dimension trope where the Prime line, which is kind of what I show off with the various factions and the story that I'm telling, they engage with it. These things called breaches open up. If you go in, you end up in the Deep Between. The thing is, if you want to get back to the same time and place you came from, you gotta get out the same way you came in. All of a multiverse of realities exists, and all of them bleed into the Deep Between. And there you have your model agnostic kind of hook for the game, right? So this campaign will be 36 character game models, as well as the tokens for the game. And there'll be some secret rewards that I kind of unlock along the way. I'm not doing stretch goals because a lot of this is also for me to kind of learn the back end of Gamefound and to kind of get a crowdfunding campaign under my belt before I release the full game. The game is available to try out if you want to get involved with playtesting. It's not set in stone yet. A lot of the things are kind of already there, but there are a few things that I'm kind of still tweaking above and beyond just stats. You know, there are a few things that I'm trying to look to sort out. I have some great playtest groups that I deal with and kind of go and show the game off to. I try to get out to different shops in the Ohio area every month and just kind of get it out and build the community. If nothing else, if this campaign grows the community that I have playing the Deep Between and it gets more people playtesting it to make it the best skirmish game that it can be, then I will count this campaign as a success. Okay, so what the campaign is not, it is not a release of the game. The rules are available on the Discord if you want to engage in that way, but ultimately that is not what this campaign is for. The campaign is to get models in players' hands and hobbyists' hands, and you know, at the end of the day, there are tons of these kind of model STL physical print campaigns that happen, and that's what this is. The only difference is the success of this campaign will determine the pace at which the Deep Between can continue to develop. I would like to continue the pace of releases and the momentum that I have currently for the first year, but this is self-funded. At the end of the day, Grimdark, Ohio is me, the missus, my kids, and some people that I commission work out to. That's it. It's pretty much like a one-man band, plus the freelancers that I have helping me out. So speaking of that, sculptors, I have 3 sculptors that have done models for this first year, and they'll be the same people that I think will remain for the subsequent years. You have Claudio Rosa, Sam Sales, and Joe Jacinto. They're all phenomenal sculptors. I went after them because I love their work. They've worked on things like One Page Rules, Archvillain Games, Eldfall Chronicles. I mean, these guys, Loot Studios, right? These guys have done a ton of great work for various different companies. After that, you have the digital artists. So I'm a traditional artist. I do pencils, pen and ink. When I do these concepts, it's to get the design and convey the vision across to these sculptors. But I'm not a fine artist, and I'm not like a game or set piece establishing shot artist. I'm not that guy. So I tap on the talent for that. I have David Arcane Simmons, who does establishing shots and monthly art pieces for lore. I do little lore segments every month. They get released on Patreon for free. They're kind of a callback to the pulp era. They're meant to be fast, short, quick, just kind of get you a feel for the universe that I'm trying to build here, right? Get you a taste of the setting. I also have had Jean Chinez Jr., who is an award-winning animator, do some of these as well. He did the first 3, which are really cool because they involve a character named Sawyer. And Sawyer, his ultimate fate will be decided by this community. One of the things that I want this project that I'm working on to do is be a narrative vehicle where the community can decide things like what direction a story will take, right? So the fate of Sawyer and what version of him becomes a canon character will be decided by the community. That will happen at CincyCon next year. Okay, so that's something really fun and exciting. The last guy that I want to mention here before I get to something else is Steven Yoyada, who did the cover for the game. I wanted to kind of call back to like this older style 80s retro kind of fun, not quite synth, but just kind of have that old school feel. He's done a ton of great work for bands, t-shirts, album covers, WoFat, Red Fang, Clutch. Awesome stuff, great guy, right? The last artist that I'm going to mention is Dan Morrison. Has done work with all sorts of media and different size companies. Just to throw a few names out there, he did work with Mutant Year Zero. There is a game that he worked with, CO Genesis, and also he's done stuff with Games Workshop. This guy's a phenomenal artist. He's going to be doing all of the tactics cards that will be in the game. And that kind of brings me to why I'm doing this campaign on another level, right? So because it's self-funded, next year a lot of my resources will be for rulebook art, graphic design, layout, copy, things that are really hard to extract value from as you do them, right? So as I make models, as I do the concepts, have the sculptors make them, put them up on my mini factory, do a campaign like this, it's a way that you kind of get a little bit of a return on that to kind of keep things moving. The art is not exactly that way because I don't monetize the Patreon, right? I want to make this game and the universe that I'm creating as accessible as possible and get it in front of as many gamers and hobbyists as possible, right? So that's kind of a big overview of what's going on and who's who. The last 2 shout outs that I want to have are that Don Serratos, a phenomenal painter, will be doing some paint tutorials via PDF that will expand as this campaign does. It's kind of the closest thing to a stretch goal you're going to get. Don is a great painter. His Grim Pop style fits my game and the setting because I kind of call it Grim Pulp. So it just works, and I love his style. I've been a fan of his long before I took on this endeavor, and I mean, this guy has won awards for his painting. He was the first Filipino to ever win the World Championship for Gunpla. Absolute legend in my book, and he's going to be doing some work kind of bringing these models to life and showing them off. Saucer Men Studios has provided terrain STLs for this project. I reached out to Alex, and Alex, I talked to him and said, "Hey, look, I love your terrain. I love what you're doing. Can I use them to kind of show my game off, demo and things like that?" He said, "Hey, as long as you shout me out, it's cool. Let's do it." And that kind of just got us talking. And eventually, I said, "Hey, when I do this Gamefound, is there any way I could get a bundle?" So he put together a great discounted bundle of terrain. It works great with the game, and if nothing else, like I said, this campaign is meant to be a model STL physical print campaign, right? So if nothing else, you can get a ton of great miniatures, great terrain at what I think a very competitive price, right? If you do not have a printer, the fulfillment for those orders, those physical add-ons, those will be done by Strange Plastic. Strange Plastic is awesome. They have done some really big campaigns and supported them in the past successfully. So I have no doubt that Jared and the guys out there on the West Coast can deliver, and they're going to bring you the best models of the utmost quality. So that's kind of the quick rundown of what's going on here, and I hope you back this, and I hope that I see you in the deep between.